Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another 30 for 30, 30 beautiful values that we can learn from the Quran. And we're reading this book here by Bashar Karum, and we're on value number 3, and this is a really, really beautiful value. The value is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, be open-hearted. Be open-hearted. So what does the Quran tell us about this? Well, the passage from the Quran today comes from Surah Abasa, which means in Arabic, he frowned. And it's drawing from ayah 8 through 12, and this is a Meccan surah. And I'm going to read the English translation of this. But as for the one, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, but as for the one who came to you eager to learn, being in awe of Allah, you were inattentive to him. But no, this revelation is truly a reminder, so let whoever wills be mindful of it. And this is a really beautiful story that takes place in Mecca during the early days of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as he was preaching Islam to those in Mecca. And he was sitting with some very powerful, important chiefs of the Quraysh, right? The powerful Quraysh tribe. And he was passionately talking with them about the message of Islam and Tawheed and trying to teach them so they would be open to Islam and maybe embrace Islam, and so that all of the Meccan society would embrace Islam and could turn against some of the corruption that was happening in that society. And as he was sitting with these powerful people, as the story goes that we get from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, a poor beggar, he was blind, he came in to seek the counsel of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He wanted to learn about Islam. He came with an open heart, wanting to learn about Allah, and he interrupted this conversation between the Prophet Muhammad and these Quraysh leaders. And so the Prophet Muhammad turned to him and told him to wait, but he did so, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with a slight frown on his face, kind of like, that he was annoyed with this interruption. It's understandable. We all have those reactions. But for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is someone who never said uff to anyone around him, even his servants, people who were there to serve him. He never had a harsh word for them, was never impatient, never unkind. So just this slight frown, this slight sign of impatience towards this earnest seeker of Allah and Islam was enough to send down this rebuke from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. Right? So even though this blind beggar couldn't even see the Prophet Muhammad's face, didn't even know that he had this slight frown on his face, this slight signal of annoyance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down this verse reprimanding the Prophet Muhammad and saying, if someone is coming to you with an open heart, wanting to learn about Islam, why are you wasting your time with these Quraysh who are not going to embrace Islam? They're not going to listen. Their hearts are sealed when you've got this true seeker coming to you. Don't turn them away, right? They might not be powerful and rich like these Qurayshis, but they're coming with a pure and sincere heart, a desire to learn about Allah. And that desire must be met with openness, right? And so what can we learn from this? Well, Allah wants us to keep an open heart. We should never ignore or turn away someone who is looking for our friendship, who needs help, or reaches out to us to learn. So maybe someone is coming to us, they want to learn about Islam, or they just need help from us in general. They need support. But for whatever reason, maybe we're busy, or maybe there's something about them that kind of puts us off at first, and we might just kind of turn them away and be harsh. Don't do that. Keep an open heart. If someone's coming to you for advice, for knowledge, for help them the best that you can. And even if you can't help them, you don't have the knowledge that they need, point them to someone who has it. But don't just give your attention to the people who you think are important or valuable in society and ignore the ones who may be forgotten or left aside, but who need help, who need knowledge, right? Don't turn those people away. Be open-hearted and listen to their needs and help them meet those needs. So how does this help us become a better person? By keeping our arms and our hearts open to others, this helps us build strong relationships, again, in our community, not only within the Muslim community, but between the Muslim community and the wider community. Others know that we can be counted on, that when people come to us for help and advice and guidance and support, our arms, our hearts, our doors will be open to help them. So I pray that our community as a whole can have open arms, open doors, and an open heart to receive anyone from our society looking for guidance, looking for help and support. And I pray that all of you also open your hearts to others during this blessed month of Ramadan, when Allah has sealed Jahannam and chained up the shayateen. Let us open our hearts and welcome others into our embrace, inshallah, and into our communities, learning about Islam, sharing food with us, sharing knowledge and everything, and all the blessings of Ramadan. So we'll close with this dua. Ya Allah, please help me to open my heart to everyone. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.